First of all, thank you for allowing me to do this. This is a warm-up for what I'll be doing Friday for the residents. So anything that just totally doesn't fly, let me know and I'll know not to do it Friday. And Rex has agreed to be the bad guy both times, which is a good thing. Huh?
You need a good bad guy.
I do. Okay, so first of all, who in the heck am I to have the honor to show you guys and talk about self-defense? I spent 30 years in the pharmaceutical industry. That doesn't really qualify. I have been doing martial arts for 5 decades. That kind of qualifies, but not completely. What most of you don't know is I also spent 20 years in law enforcement. The first half in search and rescue. Believe it or not, I dug up cadavers, carried dead people off the mountain. I was one of the guys that late foggy night in Modesto looking for Lacey. I was one of the very few guys on San Francisco Bay with the canines looking for Lacey. I also spent 10 years as a reserve deputy. So I've worked patrol, the jail, every aspect of police work. More importantly, because of my specialty, thanks to Deborah, she let me train my dog here a few times, I went through 3 canines dedicated to finding firearms. So I've been to more homicide scenes than most 20-year veterans. I was on call for the FBI evidence response team for over 10 years. I've worked homicides, Roseville, Placer, Sac City, Sac County, El Dorado, obviously the FBI, marshals, so on and so forth. That, I think, gives me a little bit more credibility to talk about knowing that bad things happen to good people in good areas. And what I really want to prevent is just the knowledge of being aware and trusting your gut could potentially save you from a bad moment. Speaking of which, I'll do this first. When something really bad happens and you go into a fight or flight mode, like you're walking to your car at night in the parking lot and all of a sudden someone just comes out from behind you, give me your wallet now, give me your watch, give me your phone. You know, your heart rate's going to go up to about 175 or 200, and your autonomic nervous system is going to take over. So you've got 2 systems, your autonomic and your somatic. So your somatic is stuff we can control. Everyone raise your right hand and lower it. There you go. There's your somatic nervous system. Your autonomic is stuff you can't control, your heart rate. And when things like that happen, we go to fight or flight. I wish we would have, I can't believe they didn't teach us this in the academy even. You may lose your bowels, you may lose your bladder, because when you're in that mode, your body says, sphincter, you're not needed right now. Bladder, you're not needed. Things like that shut down. So if it happens to you, don't be embarrassed. It's a human reaction. The other thing, your vision and hearing and all sorts of stuff, just everyone is different. Gets all messed up. Many, many, many interviews with cops that have been in firefights, they said they're sitting there firing and they can't hear one shot, yet they see the ejection of their casings coming out of the gun, slow motion, and it looks like barrels coming out. You just don't know how you're going to react. So one of the biggest things I like to talk about is we're all old enough to remember about 23, 24 years ago now, 3 women were viciously killed in Yosemite. Carol was the mother, her daughter, and a friend from out of the country. A buddy of mine was the head of the evidence response team for the FBI. This is how I got this information. Cary Steiner, the murderer, we learned from him what these ladies did right and eventually did totally wrong. Cary Steiner worked as a maintenance guy at the hotel in Yosemite. He knocked on the door and he said, I want to come in. They said, no. They were trusting their gut. They were trusting their instinct. He said, no, I got to come in. There's a leak upstairs. So I have to come in and check your bathroom. You're like, well, okay. Boom. They quit trusting their gut. All they had to do was call the front desk, and they were checking out that day. Who cares if you ever see him again and you hurt his feelings for 2 minutes? He came into the room, went into the bathroom with his backpack, came out with a gun. He immediately strangled Carol, the mother, to death in the bathroom. Then he strangled her daughter. Then he took the third girl, put her in the car, put Carol and her daughter in the trunk. Remember, they were found burned in the car in the woods. And the third girl had her throat slit by the lake. 2 things they did wrong. They didn't continue to trust their gut. I want you to learn from that. It's extremely important. This is real life stuff. This is not a unicorn and rainbows class. The other thing is they didn't put up 1 iota of a fight. It is no different than if I had a knife in my hand and I just came up and he didn't raise his hand or anything. Not one bit of a fight did they give up. From the interviews with Steiner after the fact, there was 0 trace evidence left in the room. 0. They would not have caught Steiner if it wasn't until, I think it was close to 2 months later, there was a hiking guide, lived in a cabin in Yosemite, and Carrie attacked her in the cabin when she was alone. And she fought, she was a hiking guide, she was in shape. She fought like a banshee. They left so much trace evidence behind. That's how they caught Steiner. And through that murder, they were able to trace him to the other 3. You say, well, why fight if I'm going to get killed anyway? Well, first of all, you'll have the satisfaction of knowing you're probably going to leave trace evidence and the bad guy's going to get caught. Second of all, if you don't fight, you've got 0 chance. If you fight, you've got a certain amount of chance to survive. Any questions so far? No. I like to show some tools before we start doing some physical stuff. I'll bypass the other one. I don't remember. At Friday's class, I did pull off an old newsreel of when he was first captured. It's barely 3 minutes long. So instead of just talking, the talk, what I just did, I'm actually going to start by showing that 2.5-minute newsreel or whatever. And it may or may not say in there whether that was his first. So one thing I'm a strong believer in is protecting yourself. And a lot of times, you know, it's like God created man equal, or some men bigger than others, and Smith & Wesson made them equal. I am a proponent of the Second Amendment. I don't leave my house unarmed. That's your decision. But some non-lethal devices, like this little itty-bitty taser, stun gun. Taser is the one that shoots 2 darts out. This is a stun gun. There is a difference. This will incapacitate anyone. The trouble with it is, you can't just go, eh. You've got to touch them. You have to make contact with them. So this is up close and personal. Okay? As you can see, it's also a nice little flashlight. But even just walking around here on the trails, if you have a coyote come up to you, or a wild barking dog or something, 99 out of 100 times, you do that, they're gone. They want no part of it. One of my karate students was at, I think it was Big 5. No, Best Buy. I saw a couple getting attacked, and that couple pulled out their stun gun and just did what I just did. Said, we want no part of you. You know, most jerks on the street don't want to fight. They want a victim. Not long. You got to keep it on them. But like if probably the best way to see this is just go to YouTube. teenage boys especially are stupid. There are so many YouTubes out there. Just put in stun gun examples of, stunning yourself, and it shows them. It's like, ah! But you recover pretty quick. When I went through the academy, they put a taser dart on my leg and one on my chest, and just for 1 second, I dropped like a rock. And then we had to get pepper sprayed. I'm like, really? I carry a 45 on my hip. I don't have to get shot, do I? So anyway, that brings up the next thing, pepper spray. You can get them as small as this. You can run with it, jog with it, walk with it, play golf with it, whatever. This one shoots 5 or 6 feet. The advantage is, unlike this, you don't have to be up close and personal. I can hit Rex from here, stop him in his tracks. The disadvantage is, you don't want to shoot this on a windy day when the wind's blowing in your face. I do understand that they make these now in more of a gel form, so it's more of a sticky substance, so it's not going to be as aerosol-like and come back to you, and it stays on the bad guy longer. I mentioned, I'll re-mention and emphasize, these are non-lethal. You don't need permits, you don't need anything. You can buy them on Amazon, you can go right down the street to Big Five and buy them. Non-lethal, easy to get. I hear that periodically, and I don't know any nice way to say this other than phooey. It just phooey. I would rather have it and potentially have it taken from me, which I trust you, no one's going to get my firearm off of me and use it on me. You would use it on them before they were able to get it. I recommend either or. But I also, especially, because even though I have to touch you, if you're attacking me and I just do that, are you going to keep coming? Probably not. Especially at our age, it is just so unpredictable. They're just not predicting us to fight back. So if we do any fighting back, which we're going to demonstrate in a minute, it's like, whoa, again, I want a victim. I don't want a fighter. And then another device is, I'm not going to pull the pin on this. This makes a real loud shriel. It's like my wife carries one of these on her purse, which brings up another point. These things are totally useless unless you can get to them on the here and the now immediately. If you're walking in the parking lot, that's when it should be in your hand or on your clip or your pocket, the strap of your purse, whatever. It's got to be able to get to it now. It's like my wife, she carries these big Coach purses. I gotta hate those things. She's bumping into me with it. This film isn't going anywhere, is it? But if she had it on the bottom of that, she'd never get to it. And going back to trusting your gut, another aspect, I really wish Marta was here, is your demeanor. Again, there's been case after case where I'm talking about first responders, have interviewed convicts, and they look for victims. They look for the weak, the people aren't going to fight, people walking on their phone like this without ever looking around. We all know Marta. Have you ever seen anyone with such impeccable posture? I guarantee you, she will never be a victim. One person's going to look at her and go, no. I'm pretty serious about that. Trying to decide if there are any other talking points before I want to get started into the good stuff. And when we start the hands-on stuff, you guys can do or not do as much or as little as you want, but I will show you. But some of the stuff we do, it's almost like you really need to do it to feel it. Oh, yeah, another point. The odds of us being in an active shooting is pretty remote. But if you do, and I've not been in one, but if you do hear of an active shooter, I'm told almost always people think it just sounds like firecrackers going off. It's not going to sound like real gunfire. So you need to know the difference between concealment and cover. In case we start hearing gunfire. Okay? So this, my friends, is concealment. You can't see me, can you? Bullet will go right through this. So your best bet is cover. Your worst bet is concealment, but concealment is better than nothing. Okay? A car door. Question, is that concealment or cover? Concealment. Even a little pistol round will go through a car door as easily as a beer can. If you're behind a car, make certain if you're not behind the engine, you're at least behind a wheel. A bullet will not travel through a wheel. Okay? Yeah, I'll just get rid of this for now.
Cover is where they can't see you. Or, oh, you mean?
I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, like I'm trying to find a brick wall. So like that desk really isn't cover. A rifle round will go through that. A pistol round, maybe not. A rifle round will. A brick wall, a rock wall, something like that is cover. A rifle round will go through a door, even a solid door. When I volunteered for years with Auburn Police Department, we have a citizen academy every year, and one day was a range day. We would actually take a ballistic vest that we wear, and we shoot it with a 9mm. Sure enough, the bullet doesn't go through it. And then we get the AK-223, boom, shoom, right through, like it's not even there. So ballistic vests, people don't realize it. Don't stop a rifle unless you have the type that have plates in them. So you have a vest, don't think it's going to stop a rifle. If that's all you have, that's all you got. So I think those are pretty much all my talking points, unless there's some questions. Okay, let's go back to Yosemite. How did I say the first 2 women died? Strangulation. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to learn, is how to defend ourselves against being choked. And I'm going to show you guys something, and I say, let me back up a minute. Remember I told you I'm from pharmaceuticals? Prim and proper, dealing with the medical directors of the health nets of the world. After 20 years in LE, sometimes when I do stuff like this, I kind of revert back to LE mode and I get into a potty mouth. If it slips, my apologies, okay? And I say guys a lot, guys and gals, whatever. So I'm going to show you something, and then you're going to go home and show someone, like, hey, look what I learned. Oh, no, I got a better way. So if I may, and this is the one thing I think that Rex and I practice on, but he'll play along for all the others. So he's choked me. Some people can say, oh, you just back up, grab their wrist, lock their arm, whap, and break their elbow. Oh, no, I got a better way. So you just do this and run away. No, you don't do that. You just step back, hit them, kick them, punch them. Oh, that's me. Yeah, the magnet's there somewhere. It's in here. Someone else will say, oh no. When I step in, I would crush his larynx, but I need Rex not only for the rest of this class, I need him for Friday, so I'm going to do his chest plate instead, okay? So here, I'm just going to, here, and then take him down. Who's going to remember all those? And a co-instructor, I shouldn't say another because I'm not. He's a 7th degree black belt. We usually teach these classes. We've taught at all the spare time clubs. Apple Computer. Apple Computer paid me a few $1,000s to do what we're doing here. We usually do these classes together. But what we like to show is you just raise your hands and turn and run for the door. We are not here to fight and take him out. Rex is a grappler MMA guy. He's bigger than me, stronger than me. Some would argue better looking. I'm not here to fight him. My job is to escape, evade, and get the heck out of Dodge. So it's funny when, I'll just say, the co-instructor's name is John. When John and I teach these at the spare time clubs, it's amazing because these are gym rats when we do these women's self-defense classes. And you see them, and they're breaking the body. So what we're doing here is I'm just making my whole mass one unit, okay? So my whole mass of 155 pounds, okay, 170, is just going in one direction. So there's no braking. Even my karate students will, no, it's not the arm. It's your mass, pivoting and turning and going. That's where you can, if he's choking you, that's where you could do that thingy. I don't want to get on the ground. But he's still, even on my back, I could do that. Then hopefully get an elbow or something into him. The other thing is, I should have made you guys a promise. You're not going to walk out of here after an hour, the next Karate Kid. But hopefully you will learn something that can save your bacon. And, we could what-if things together, and there's just no 100% answer to anything. How do you know? If the bad guy says, give me your wallet, give it. Boom, boom, boom. You don't know if he's still going to shoot you or not. There's no guarantees for anything. You got to trust your gut. Trust your instincts. It's all you can do. So do you guys want to try that? No? Stand up and try it. Partner up. The one thing, guys, when you do this, now, no. Cindy, just like this. Get your arms straight across and straight up and down. Now just turn your whole body. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, now everything is connected. Now just turn and go. Pivot and go. Just turn and go. Hey, okay. Hey, relax everyone for a sec. In karate, we'd say yame. Yame, relax. When we do this, now I agree. You don't want it so soft that I don't have to really do anything. Yet at the same time, you don't want to do it so hard, go ahead, I can take it, where you're going to bruise your opponent. I know I'm not going to bruise, but I don't know about you guys. But you have to do it hard enough to, you can, well, that didn't really work. You really need to feel it, okay? You don't want to, do you? Well, make you feel any better. I'm getting my epidural next Tuesday. Tom, you and Cindy, come over here. I want to see her do it right. I want you to get the feeling. Grab me. Choke me.
Is he choking me?
No, you're choking me. I want you to choke, damn it. Hard. I want you to feel it. See the force of the body? That's what I want you to do to him. You're choking her. You are the victim here. Now just turn and go. Yes, better idea.
See how she just spun on her foot? That's very dangerous. So you want to get leverage of your feet.
Use your entire mass.
If you're going to spin to the left, use your right foot to pivot. And like your butt.
Ah, got it. Huh?
I'm going to be here and I go,
Did I not say everyone's got their own different way of doing it? That's what Steve's dad was a boxer. Steve's dad taught him stuff as a youth. This is what's ingrained in his being. This is what he's going to do because this is what he knows. Did I not say how many different ways there are to do it? And what he did worked. Stick with it. That's. You know, okay, I don't really want you guys to practice this one, but I want to show it. Because I don't want to say, oh, you know, he ripped my head back and now I've had headaches for a month. And it's like, well, they didn't really rip it back, but I know you're not used to being touched, so it probably felt that way. But let's say we've all had, I'm talking to the girls now, okay? The drunk uncle, the bipolar nephew, the asshole at every Thanksgiving that's got to come up, hey baby, and try and grind on you, right? We've all had that. So what do we do for that? Am I right? I want you all to come up close so you can see what I do. And a lot of guys learn at an early age to keep their thighs together so you can't knee their testicles, okay?
I was thinking that.
Guys learn that at an early age. A really simple method, this is for the bipolar nephew, the drunk uncle, is just get your entire hand on his face like this, and you just push his nose back. It is literally that simple. Was that too hard? Okay. Again,
It's not pleasant, but
he's an MM guy. He can take it. But I really want to stress your entire hand across his face and your big finger is right under his nose. If he had a big bushy head of hair here, which he doesn't, I could just grab his bangs and rip it back. But I just got it under his thumb, and that actually is using the leverage also. Okay, now let's say you're out and about, and, oh no, baby, you're still mine. Now I'm fearing for my life, okay? This guy is attempting to rape me or who God knows what. What do I do? Well, first thing I would do is I just cup my hands, whap, and cup his ears. You do that quick and hard, you're going to pop his eardrums. Game over. Okay, we're done. He was starting to like it too much. Rex? Camera. Rex. So you see why I don't want you to try it though? But I want you to know to get your entire hand with your finger under the nose, thumb under the chin, and push it back. You've got to know that. And again, if you fear for your life, hit the ears. Cup your hands and hit the ears. That'll take out both eardrums, and right then and there it's game over. But I like to finish them off with the Bad guys should never win. We're going to go through a couple other things I quit teaching. And we got plenty of time. The bear hug stuff. Bear hug from the front, from the rear, over the arm, under the arms. What I used to teach, and I quit, over the arm from the rear, is I used to teach, oh, you just step out into a horse stance, rip a knife hand to the groin, push out, whap, and then take them down. Okay? This happened to me in real life. I was in front of Harvey's Casino, waiting for the Amgen bike race to begin. The race was starting at Mont Bleu. It was a snowy morning. We're all sitting there wondering around, are they going to start the race, cancel the race, or what? My job was to keep any knucklehead from coming out of the parking lot of Harvey's onto Highway 50, which we had closed. And the next thing I knew, like everyone, I'm looking towards Mont Bleu. That happened to me. In frickin' uniform. And within probably a half a second, if not less, my brain said, this is going to get ugly real quick, or it's a buddy of mine. It was a buddy of mine. Well, first of all, what I quit teaching is what I just showed you, okay? Because, did I not say Rex is bigger than me and stronger than me? Now, hold tight. It doesn't really work. It's a false sense of security move. It doesn't work. You know, another move, just lift your elbows like a chicken. Guess what? That works if your radar is 1,000% on. But the minute he clamps, if he clamped hard, too late. It's not going to work. So I'm really trying to stress a lot of the stuff people teach is a false sense of security. I don't want you leaving here with that. So what would you do if somebody did that? You're going to keep moving around until eventually you can find a thumb or something to peel away. Okay? Another thing you can do is right in the inside of the thigh, you just get a little pinch, and that's really effective. I did that to the co-instructor, John, at a women's self-defense class. And when he got home, he sent me a picture. He had a bruise about this big. It's like, oops, sorry. You okay? That's what we do in crime. So, whap! Oh, you okay? So anyway, that's the thing. Just keep moving until you can peel a finger, or if you can get a little pinch on the inside of the thigh. And it doesn't have to be a ton of meat. It's just really just a little pinch. I had what, just that much? Well, again, you know, he does that. I pinch, he lets go. I'm heading for the door. Again, my job isn't to take him out. My job is to escape. And again, we're not going to practice this, but I want to show it to you. Over the arm from the front. Look, you can tell he's MMA. See where his head is? His head is...
Somebody would just grab you, probably.
Forehead to the nose. This guy's experienced. He had his head off to my side where I couldn't get him. I told you he knows this stuff. The other thing you can do is, especially if you're wearing boots or pumps especially, is just drag it down the shin and then smash the foot, which is what I would have done when I told you about in front of Harvey's. I wore these big, thick Danner boots, and I would have just kicked the shin. Probably broke his leg. But it was a friend of mine.
I just like to add, I think it might be so easily. Like I hate this because like if he just turned his head and bit me, I'd have to address that. And then that knee and everything else that he's talking about works so easily. How do you defend that?
You don't. You take off. You know, and guys, take this to the bank. There is no such thing as a clear, clean fight. There is no such thing as a clean fight. I don't care if you take out their eyes. They can't see, they can't fight. We call this chopping down the tree. If he's coming after me, whap! I kick his thigh. I don't normally watch MMA. We call that chopping down the tree. It was a championship MMA bout. And the guy did a roundhouse kick to the guy's thigh. He just dropped. This fight was over. If you can't stand, you can't fight. You know, if Rick's got me in a wrist lock or something, do a wrist lock or something. You know, it's like, tap out. There's no tapping out. It's for real. It's game on. So if you're in a battle, it's to win. It's for you to walk away. We should move on to stuff we can actually practice again. So what happens if he grabs me? Other hand. We're going to do same way in a minute. Make a fist. So the first thing I want to do is get away from that. When someone grabs you, it's usually because they want to punch you. So I'm going to step over here and just open a book. That's all I did, was open a book. Again, here, I'm going to do it without stepping.
I'm grabbing him hard too.
I'm just opening a book, and I'm going against this. Oh, ha! Okay? So again, but you want to get away from that weapon. And this is another thing when I teach this in my karate class, my karate students, they're all, and they think they got to go fast and hard. It's not. This is more like Annie's Tai Chi. This is just graceful. And again, we established he's bigger, badder, and stronger than me. Even if he grabbed super, super hard, I just get my other hand involved. This is literally coming from the floor, guys. This is coming from Mother Earth. I may need my second hand to do that. Now I got him. So you want to go ahead and try that? Just opening a book. You're mine. So now you want to get away from this. So step over there. Just roll it over.
Except for I didn't get you to go down all the way.
Well, you. Okay. Well, let's do one thing at a time. Okay. So do that.
Okay.
Open the book. Step and open the book.
Oh, wait, I'm using the wrong
Step
hand.
over there.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. You do this.
I'm sorry. My bad.
You have the wrong. You do. Okay.
Now
So
open a book.
stepping and that.
Yes. Yeah. Now, if you want, now get your other hand, make it a knife hand, right above the elbow, and press down. Press. Yes.
Okay. So it's right above the elbow.
Right above the elbow. Okay. Cindy, you know how to open a book? Just open a book. Just open the book.
Me or her?
Her.
Oh, I
No,
thought
she's got me.
Oh, then you open the book. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. Open the book. No. Up. Here. Watch. Here. 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 Keeping the elbow in. Here. Yeah, crosswise, Cindy. Very good. Cindy. Now go to the side so you get away from his weapon. Yeah. Yes. Yes. No, it's the other way. Here. This way. You're going against his thumb.
Inside.
Yeah.
and then run.
Well, yeah, but you want to. No, you're not going to run. You're going to take this bad boy out. This time I want you to open the book. Step this way. Step. Open. Now, hold it. Hold him. Hold him just like this. Now, right here, press down.
And then
Okay, guys. Everyone try it at least once or twice. Okay. Hey, Rex, I need you. So that was across the body. What if he grabbed with this hand? Would it work? Yes, it still works. But what I prefer to do when it's the same side to same side, and I did not practice this with Rex. He doesn't know what's coming. So when I pull away, I'll be damned. He actually presses me harder. But watch this. When I come into him, he releases the grip. And I get him in a wrist lock. It took me and John over 4 decades to realize he's conscious of what it is now. But if I go away, he strengthens the grip. If I come in, he loosens the grip. So, and from here, what I did is I just got my other hand involved. I got my left thumb on top of his hand. Now I get my right thumb on top of his hand, and I've got him in a wrist lock. Boop.
Same thing with the dog, too. If you pull away, the dog's going to twist one harder, but if you jam your fist in the dog's mouth, they release.
Well, you guys are all athletic here, so I'm going to show you where we discovered this. There's a kata called Hungetsu, which means nothing to you. But the move in the kata is this sneaky step, boom. And what we finally realized is I come around and he grabs my hand. I make that sneaky step, and the minute I come into him, he releases the grip. And I rip it back and kick. It's like, that's where we discovered that. So do you want to try that or leave it alone? Nobody's jumping up. Okay, well, just as a reminder, he grabs, I come into him, and I get my left thumb on top of his hand, come around, and get my right thumb on top of his hand. Now he's in a wrist lock. He's mine. I own him. Okay? Oh, you know, I did forget something, guys. Remember I showed you all the techniques to do against someone choking you? And I said there is no one best technique? I lied. There is one best technique. He comes to choke. Stop! Use your voice. Use your hands. Get some distance. Don't get choked. He comes to grab. Stop it! Don't get grabbed. Don't find yourself in that predicament like I did in front of Harvey's genius cop I was at the time. And I got to tell you, it's humbling telling that story, but some of my best experiments and learning experiences in karate have been humbling. They said, what do you do if someone comes after you with a knife? We used to have these perfect moves where he would come in, I'd grab him, I'd take him down, and all this stuff. And John, the co-instructor, and I were at Johnson Ranch 30-some years ago. And just like at our gyms here, there was a couple guys in the weight room, buff guys, big guys. We said, hey, will you give these rubber knives and just attack us? They go, how do you want us to attack you? However, that's when I learned that day that everything we did was just like the bear hug. It was choreographed crap. We got had 99 out of 100 times. If someone comes after you with a knife, run. In the academy, they taught us if someone comes after you with a knife, what's called the 21-foot rule. They get within 21 feet of you, boom, it's game over. You know, if Rex really was coming after me with a knife, you know, I just do my best to avoid and go on the attack. So I don't teach knife defense because it doesn't work, in my humble opinion. Fun stuff that we can do. Roy and Steve and I have had this discussion. His dad taught him this when he was a little kid. His dad, if you don't know this, Steve's dad was a boxer. So, you know, on the street, most guys are going to come in throwing haymakers at you. You know, maybe even someone pissed off at the counter might come around and try and throw a punch at you. So when we were little, throw a haymaker. Okay? When we were little, this is what we did. Pretty much like that, right? Then as we got skilled in martial arts, he threw a hammer, whap, whap. Then as we progress in martial arts, you just come in. There's not even a need to block it. And that's what Steve, Dad, taught him years ago. Most people also draw back. There's no drawing back. When he starts to come, it's from right here. Right there. It's just go. But what I like to show in these self-defense classes is to get out of the line of fire. So he starts to come, and I just go to the side. So he's kind of coming in a counterclockwise motion. So I also will move counterclockwise and just hit him. Okay? That's going to come up in another move in just a minute. So that one I'd really like to see you guys get up and try. One person, just a slow motion. Just slow motion. Slow motion. Slow motion. Okay? Take Deborah. Tom. No, just one fluid motion. Go ahead, move to the side more.
Oh, right.
You're going to go that way, counterclockwise. Yes. Okay, hey guys, yame. What I'm seeing a lot of, we just hold that. You want to hold it against your chest. I see a lot of is see my posture. Okay, you would never do anything athletically. Even just pushing the refrigerator back in after vacuuming with your butt out. Okay, so you hear is here. Posture. Keep a good posture. Your hips forward, shoulders back. Okay? Try again. Talk to me.
Tom, you're doing great. Tom went like this. This actually could be turned into a comedy skit. I think we should watch it back and type up a sheet of pointers, like a few of those things she said. Move out of the way, like all the little pointers.
Anything you want, my dear. Oh, Princess Bride, as you wish. Okay, guys, I said that move comes in play a couple of times. The other same exact thing it does, Steve, is if he's coming in, hitting me over the head with a club. Or same exact move. I'm just putting this here for insurance. Okay? If I hit the club, so be it, but I prefer to hit his arm. This is nothing but insurance. This is my goal. He comes in, whap! Hit him. It's the exact same move. Obviously, we don't need to practice this. We just did. And it's the same thing if he's coming in like a side thrust, like a baseball. Same thing. Just a little bit lower, step to the side, and strike. You okay? Uh-huh. Generally, I'll get to that in just a second, but can we hold that? Again, being monitors or well-fit instructors or whatever, if someone is throwing punches at you, in addition to what I just showed you, worst case scenario, well, borrow you, just do some haymakers, okay? It's just, get your hands up. Just get your hands up. Every video I've seen of people getting mauled on the street, they're just, see, if you just keep your hands up, you're going to avoid getting hit.
But say about coming at you,
You go to the side. Yeah, there's so many different things you can do. So he comes in. Okay, I can go to the side this way. Right here. He tried to trick me. Well, it's the same way. It's the same way we do in martial arts. Yes, we have hook punches and stuff, but generally when we're fighting, yeah, we teach from here or here. But when it's playtime, we call it, it's from here. This is just to teach your body how to move. Okay. Okay, we probably got enough time to close with one last thing, unless there's some what-if questions. Going back to you, somebody. I don't know this for certain, but I'm guessing the third girl was bound. Why else would she have stayed in the room as he was putting the other two in the car? So I got to take this off. You are going to love this. This is another one that John and we heard about this, and we go, nah, no way. So what if someone bound your wrists together? Maybe 4 times. Please, God, make this work. So what we do here is we raise our hands and arms as far back above our head as we can, and then we come down, and some people think it's like you're hitting the palms of your hands on your stomach. I prefer to think about it more as I'm hard to do now, elbow striking out each direction. So we're here. Oh, it didn't work. I guess one too many. First time it's never worked for me. Nope, it's not working. Do 3 times.
My bad. We were taught to do this in the army. That's how you. Okay.
And I even said, please, God, make it work. Right here. There. And I think it was at church once. I was showing somebody this, and there was some Gorilla Tape. That Gorilla Tape is good. It didn't budge. So if you want to try that just once around, we'll each try it. And when I said elbow strike, it's like, it's out like this. Yeah, you get enough to. Yeah, you saw how I was able to get mine off. Okay. It's like this. Here. The one thing it taught me is if I was ever to bind someone with tape is, I know it, is to do their elbows as well. If you do their elbows, they got no choice. One more trick up the sleeve. 2 more. 6 minutes. This one is more for the girls or some of the guys here that have ponytails and such. What do? We make another knot so it doesn't come apart. I'm an old hippie. This is my old gray ponytail, okay? What happens if somebody grabs and pulls your hair? To slaughter and do nothing. He starts. I would grab my hair where his hand is, and I'd let that pull take me into him, and I'd strike him. I struck him here because I didn't want to hit him here. But in real life, when I do teach, especially in the women's classes, is when you're striking someone to the face, use the heel of your hand. You guys aren't used to hitting things hard with your knuckles. It's not even your knuckles. It's part of your forefingers right here, these two fingers, that flat part, that's your target area. And I'll just show you this. So you get that, you just go with the flow, okay? And the other thing is the same thing if someone snatches your purse. This I call shopping mode, okay? This I call stupid in the parking lot. The co-instructor's sister had a friend that was walking in the parking lot, someone came up from behind, grabbed, she went down, hit her head on the curb, she's dead, and the guy's got her purse, okay? It's okay to shop like this, you go through all the racks and whatnot, but when you're walking, especially in a hinky area, I like to teach just twice around like this and walk like this. So the minute a purse snatcher, oh, nothing there I'm going to die over, I just release it and give it to him.
I like that.
Okay, this time, oh no, I got my brand new Smith & Wesson, take off in here. Again, just like the hair, I'm using the momentum to pull me into him. Okay? So it's your choice. Fight or flight.
One thing I think that you gotta really remember is that if you gotta fight, you better fight.
Did you hear that? And fight to what?
Don't just be
Yeah, it's not one strike. It's multiple. So I've been training, well, actually 49 years now. People ask, I love to tell this story. Have you ever had to use it? And the truthful answer is no. One time, I remember the year, 1986, my wife and I were in San Francisco to a specialty furniture store in the old Mission District. We were in sport coat and slacks. She's in a skirt and blouse. And I remember this distinctly because the DNC was going on at the same time. These guys must have thought we were tourists. We got out of the car. Before we knew it, we were surrounded by a half a dozen bad guys. And I mean, got right in my face. I was a young black belt then, had dark hair and everything. Opened up my sport coat, grabbed my 9mm, said there's 13 plus 1, who's first? They left.
It's good if you got your concealed carry.
So, as I said, like the pepper spray, the stun guns you can get on Amazon. There's also a company called Damsels in Distress. I have no connection with them. Their prices are higher, but I tell you what, like one of the stun guns that I bought from Amazon, like 4 times the size of that, big flashlight. Within a year, it quit working. It's $30 on Amazon. You know, it's quality or you get what you pay for. So I'm not promoting them, I'm just saying you have choices, okay? All of them, they all have it. You, Generally, the price, the more you pay, the better it is. Any questions, thoughts? We're 1 minute to closing.
Great time.
Thanks, guys.